This is a review for The Final Empire, which is the first book in the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. You probably already know this, but Mistborn is most famous for its magic system, which works by strict, logical rules. To give you an idea about the book's starting premise, the book is set in a world where there are these type of spellcasters who can consume certain metals to produce various effects. So, consuming one metal gives them super strength, while consuming another metal gives them super senses, and so on. The basic premise of this book is that some of these spellcasters band together to go against the immortal ruler of the empire. Although Mistborn is best known for its magic system, which I did enjoy, personally, I think the book's strongest points were its plot and lore. Because even though it's not a very lore-heavy book, I think the author did a great job at making me curious to find out more about the world, its history, people's backstories, and how everything in it worked. Plot-wise as well, I thought the pacing was nice, and important reveals I felt made a strong impact on me. But the book is not without its flaws. I feel this is a book where the highs are very high, but at the same time there are some clear flaws that I can't ignore. For example, one of the main characters did not have all that much of a personality, and the author seemed to really like reminding us how much of a loner she was, which started to get a bit annoying for me. Plus, there was an awful romance arc in the book too, an arc that I felt was stilted, cliched, and did not fit in with the rest of the book. This arc went on too long as well, to the point where I found myself skimming the sections of the book whenever it cropped up. But still, the characters' development and romance arc were only a small part of the book, so it wasn't the end of the world. I still enjoyed the book overall. Plus, the other main character was a lot more interesting. His motivations, personality, and backstory felt a lot more fleshed out. More importantly, the characters interacted well with each other, so even though none of them had a lot of depth, they felt like a great group. Now let's talk about Mistborn's writing style, which is mostly simple, but sometimes making sense of the magic system and the action in the book can require a lot of focus. And I feel the magic system and action sometimes took too much space in the book. Although that one might be on me, because I generally dislike long action scenes in books. There's not a lot of visual descriptions of the world here, so even by the end of the book, I did not have a clear image of the setting. But the lack of lengthy descriptions means that the pacing is a lot faster. One final note about the writing, it is functional. Gets the story across okay, without any impressive or creative use of language. So there are scenes and moments from the book which in my mind stand out as iconic or memorable, but there are no quotable lines. The writing is here to tell a story, not to inject style. So, should you buy this book? I would recommend this book if A, you're looking for a plot-centric book with an unusual setting and magic system, and bonus points if you like themes of the underdogs going up against enemies far stronger than them. B, you prefer a fast pace over detailed descriptions and lore. And most importantly, C, you don't mind a weak book too. I'm sure many people will disagree, but I felt book 2 revolved around the author's weaknesses rather than strengths, and was genuinely one of the worst books I've ever read. I would not recommend this book to you if you A, want deep characters, B, you have such a low tolerance for cliched and weak sections that you won't be able to look past them, even if the rest of the book is fun, or C, if it's important for you to have detailed, elaborate descriptions of the world to help you visualize the setting. Personally, I quite enjoyed the book. I would rate this as about 4.5 stars. Hope that helped. If you enjoyed the review, consider liking and subscribing.